Part 2. Let's continue for more clues, shall we? Oh yeah, remember we just discovered our Jewish brothers and sisters believe if they dance a good jig with the right intentions, they can release the all sparks that power the demon so they can return it back to the cosmos? You know, like they showed the world in that God-forsaken Noah movie. I can't hear your answer because this is a video. But if you can remember that, check this out. Listen closely. Quote, there's holiness concealed in evil. Harav Ginsburg explains that one of the principles of Hasidic is the positive reinterpretation. Listen closely. We are taught that for everything to exist, including the worst evil, there must be a spark of holiness in it, an element of God's will, whether visible or concealed. The spark is held captive in a shell. By rejecting the evil, we reveal the inner spark concealed in it. The Zohar illustrates the double nature of evil with a parable. Listen to this reverse understanding. Personal quote. A king had an only son whom he dearly loved. He therefore warned him not to be enticed by immoral women and told him that anyone so defiled was not worthy to enter into the king's chamber. The king wanted to test his son, so he called for a beautiful prostitute to seduce him. The prostitute tried her best to seduce him, but the son refused her, and the king was greatly pleased. Who calls the son to receive such honor? That's a question. The answer? The prostitute. That's in the Zohar, chapter 2, verse 163a. Stop. Wait a minute. So you want to tell a chosen mind, mind you, I'm talking to you out there, that I'm wrong for believing it with all my heart to be true? Our Jewish brothers and sisters are the subjective seed of Lucifer? Nobody else on earth can think in such a reverse way but the strain of Lucifer. But wait! For the madness continues. Quote, we can do more than merely breaking the shell. Through positive reinterpretation, we can actually utilize the holy spark to transform whatever is possible of the evil itself into good. Listen to how deep this is. Quote, even the shell that conceals the fruit can be edible and contain nutrients. We can turn darkness into light. There's nothing greater than extracting and elevating all the sparks of holiness and transforming the shells that conceal them into the service of heaven. This is the secret in the verse, personal quote, when you go out to wage war against your enemy, the other side, you will capture his captives. Deuteronomy 21 and 10. Stop. I told you. I mean, surely you know when it said, quote, even the shell that conceals a fruit can be edible and contain nutrients. And when you add in the fact, he also made sure to say, quote, elevating all the sparks of holiness and transforming the shells that conceal them into the service of heaven, he was talking about consuming, whether cannibalism or fellatio. He's talking about consuming a real live demon. Hence, the underlying reason they use a parable about a prostitute. Now, after you finish gasping and saying, well, I never, you ain't no holy man, I know I'm correct because he doubled down on the physical aspect by totally misusing scriptures once again that dealt with our earthly physical foes. You know, like taking their pretty chicks. Yep, sanctioned panty raids. You know what I'm talking about, boys. You know what I'm talking about. But while the chick's eyes get squinty, let's continue if you don't believe me. Quote, when the son in the parable rejected the prostitute, he broke the shell and revealed the spark of holiness within. Listen up. But also, the prostitute's natural talent for seduction was used. Say it again. But also, the prostitute's natural talent for seduction was used, not for evil, but for a good purpose, to fulfill the king's command. The shell has been transformed into good. Stop. Bingo! Translation, whoredom, for the right reason, isn't truly whoredom if they perceive the intentions are just. Hence, the framework for their kol nidre oath I begged you to look up. Surely, you know this perception can be applied to any form of foulness. Right? But let's continue for more insight to our Jewish brothers and sisters' everyday thought processes, shall we? I'm going to let the beat rock because there's really nothing more I can say. Wait, there is one more Big Fig Newton you just gotta hear. Quote, in everything that is bad, there's a core of good. Once we identify it, we can use it to enhance spirituality. The Zohar calls this, personal quote, transforming darkness into light and bitterness into sweetness. Furthermore, the bigger the darkness, the greater the good concealed within. Of course, the implications of this teaching on a psychological level are uber beneficial. Imagine if you could turn your sin into goodness. Listen to that shit. Listen to that shit. I didn't mean to say shit. I said it again. That was a mistake. That was truly a mistake. Man, that was a goof reel. But listen to that. Listen to that. Let me say it again. Imagine if you could turn your sin into goodness. Your old evil tendencies into meritorious acts. You can indeed. But the implications of this teaching go beyond the psychological level. We are encouraged to see the good in the root of evil and then transform the root of evil into good. Now, we are told, get the hell away from evil. But let's continue. In the level of Torah interpretation, this is something peculiar. The darkest and most wicked things do actually conceal the biggest light of redemption. No need to mention that, listen up. No need to mention that the snake that caused the fall of Adam concealed the secret of Messiah. Listen to this. Nakash, the snake, it represents some kind of number, which is Mashiach in gematria. Example. Wow! Please understand, even secular Jews believe this stuff. Now look at their position from a salvation standpoint. If you can't have good without evil, that's it. If you can't have good without evil, they are telling a chosen mind, the anointed one didn't walk the earth as an example like he was prophesied to do. Ladies and gentlemen, endure.